right. Can you hear me? It is late. It's when I finally get time to myself. I thought I'd give it a shot and tie a new pattern tonight that I haven't done before. I got better front light. Like this is... I gotta perfect my setup, you know? Well, it's good the notifications work. Hope work's going well. I worked all day today. We're in the middle of a big migration of sorts, so it was a very long day. You got a bear tag for this year? Yeah. Yeah, I think the regulations are weird here with bears. But we did get deer tags, so we might be able to do a bear hunt, like if we get a deer, and then we can... I think you can hunt over the gut pile, but I don't know. We've never done it before, so it would be cool. Putting in some of these, by the way. This is going to be the tail of this fly. That would be so cool if you get one, because just a different kind of hunt than normal. I totally forgot we talked about that too. I'm fighting off the tail end of a cold here, so I apologize. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, you gotta remember next year. I'll try to do better. I just, man, you know how it is when, I mean, the baby was born in mid March, and I think the deadline was the end of March, so my head wasn't even thinking about you, and I apologize. You probably needed me to remind you, and I dropped the ball, but that's what dad life is, I guess, right? I don't know if I'm supposed to use this whole section, but you know what? I might do it. Yeah. Well, I hope that the fishing channel catches on for you, because when you say it's the other channel's catching up to you, I don't know if that means good or bad. It sounds bad. My gosh, this is just such a large chunk of feathers. Watch me attempt to tie this on for like a half an hour. I'm not going to be doing late tonight. I'm just doing maybe one or two flies. I figured if there's anybody out there. Gotcha. I'm reading your messages. Yeah, is that changes to comply with YouTube or somebody else harassing you? That's still too much. I can pull that in a little bit. It's 10:30 here. We're just an hour behind you. This is supposed to just be the length of the hook right here. So I gotta make sure I don't overdo it with this stuff. Because really, that's about right where it should be. I hope the stream's doing okay. I think I got all the network issues figured out last time. Alright, now I'm gonna get this yarn on here. Oh. Gotcha, man. Well, that's good that you're listening to a higher power. I think I told you that I had a video doing really well, and I I went and messed with it, and boy, I'm paying the price. I'm kicking myself, you know, but I kind of had a self-reflecting moment, I guess, that kind of similar to what you just said. And I started putting Philippians 4:13 at the end of my videos, because it's if we're not doing things for God's glory, then what are we doing things for, you know? So got to keep that in mind, you know. So I'm trying to remember that myself. All right, we're gonna see if I can get this yarn tied in. This is kind of a trick here too. Now I don't like that the yarn doesn't really match the tail feathers, but I got what I got, and that's about it. So all right. Okay. Going up this way. This is some furry yarn, I tell you. Well, it's good that we're not the only people out there that are thinking this way, so. Let's see. This sure doesn't seem like a very thick wrap, but that's okay. I'm going to rewrap it so it's a little bit tighter. I might just cut this off so it's not. I'm not liking the way this is looking. I feel like it's a little bit too thick right here where the feather's attached. And I want it to be just a smidge more consistent. I probably should have put those feathers the length of the hook and then wrapped this around so it had a consistent whatever length of hook there, but again, you live, you learn. And the trout probably won't know the difference, to be honest. Lump. I'm the last person you want to hear from if you want fly tying advice. Hey, you can still know what looks good and what doesn't. And these are bigger flies. I got more materials coming in to tie some more of these because I just go through these so so quickly at the stream that I just want to have a bunch on hand. So, because usually I'm fishing them because the fish are actually responding to them, and then you keep two on you, you lose both, and then you're going, why didn't I have more? What am I gonna do? You know. All right. So let me see if I can get this. Maybe I can trim that up a little bit so it's not. It's just putting a lump right at the bottom of my hook. That might be a little bit better. That's actually looking more like it. It's supposed to be fuzzy. Oh no. That reminds me of when I was a kid. I was fishing at the bass pond, kind of where I did most of my fishing as a kid. And another member, it was a little private club, but it wasn't anything special, but just like a strip mine pond. More like a lake, I guess, but one of the other people that could fish there showed up, and I sorry, I set my fishing rod down on the ground to go open the gate for him. And as soon as I opened the gate, he just backed right in and started putting his boat in the water, and he ran over my fishing reel and my pole. So I was done fishing for the day, and it was about 45 minutes from where I lived, so that kind of stunk because there was no I didn't have any other gear with me, so that really stunk. But yeah, that's also where once I got a fly rod, I would catch bluegill out there there was a small pond out there too where I would catch bluegill, and that was fun because I'd put on like a hopper pattern or something and throw it out on the pond. And when I did that, they'd go nuts for it because they see something on top of the water, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of fun because you're kind of sight fishing them, and I don't know, something about fly fishing that's kind of fun. Just especially if you can do top water, and even if they're little tiny bluegill, it's just kind of amusing to fish for them. Yeah, that turned out all right. I'm not too unhappy with that. A bunch of long fibers here, but this is actually, I was calling the other one I was tying the other day a cone-headed leech, but technically this is the cone-headed leech. The other one's like a cone-headed streamer. So shows you how much I know about tying flies. But I tell you what, if you follow the instructions and you make them the way they say to, typically they catch fish. Even if you're not the best fly tyer in the world, you can catch a fish with them, and then that's really all that matters. So and there is a sense of satisfaction when you catch a fish on a fly that you tied. I don't know what it is, but I guess it kind of wears off over time. But the first time I tied a fly and caught a fish on it, I thought, like, you got to be kidding me! This, like, the impossible had happened. But you know, if you tie them right, somebody gave you that pattern for a reason. So Wah, wah. Not too bad looking. Again, once it's all soaking wet, fish will eat it. Yeah, this is true. I mean, there is a lot of adrenaline when you're catching a big fish, which is kind of fun. But at the same time, not catching anything can stink, you know. But yeah, exactly. Or an addle that you whipped up. um, but yeah, I was still surprised when you and I went up to the lakes up there, and we were fishing, and there was a you got your limit, and you kind of stopped fishing. I was like, "What do you mean you're done fishing?" Because I just love the, I don't know, there's just, I could just sit there and reel in fish for hours and almost never want to be done. I don't care how good the fishing is. I always want to see if there's another one willing to bite, you know. It's just addictive for me. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Glad I got this one done. So, to compare, this was the other day. We had the, whoops, about to drop it. This is the rabbit ear, or rabbit fur streamer. Still cool looking. I think those are neat. But then this is the leech. So I think having this light helps a lot with the stream, so alright. I got time for one more, but I knew it was late, but I said there might be one person out there. And either way, I think people see it pop up and they can watch it whenever they want, if they want. I'm not forcing anybody to watch this stuff. I'm just talking to myself, making flies. Yes. And I'm hoping I got my network issues worked out too. So if I'm front lit on the fly bench on this side, that helps. And if I've got my network configured correctly and the stream settings configured correctly, then I think this is gonna work all right. The other night there were a few hiccups, but I think it's going. I watched as I kept making changes throughout the stream, and I rewatched the stream, and towards the end it was really smooth and everything was working. So I was pretty pleased with how it turned out. So I think I can. I think I've reached the point where I can do this. So there might be a few bumps in the road from time to time, but man, it's kind of nice to figure out something new. Yeah, so some of the guys I was talking to at work today, they were saying that they're getting like fiber internet to their house. I think it's like $80 to $90 a month, and they're gonna get I think it's like, I can't remember if it's 100 gig service or 200 gigabit service, which is just crazy fast internet. And I have like the slowest internet there is in the world. I mean, it's modern day dial-up. Perfect. That's good to hear. Thanks for confirming that, and thanks for being a guinea pig again. So, but yeah, they were telling me how fast their internet is, and I live far enough out that it's hard to get really good internet speeds like that. So I think I'm gonna be stuck stuck with the internet I'm on for now, which is fine. It, for the most part, it meets my needs, and I'm just reusing that same one that I cut off. I don't know if I'm not supposed to do that, but I think it looks fine. Maybe it's supposed to be a little bit more. You know what? Maybe I won't do that. I should probably do it the way that they say to do it. So, yeah, that's enough. Maybe I can get away with that. I think they want it to be where the ends are more separated. So you're looking at this versus this. This is the one that I just sheared off, so I shouldn't probably use that. Yeah, I was sitting there going, well, if I lost that video that was doing so well, or if I kind of ran it into the ground because I tried to change the thumbnail, I was saying, well, what could I do? I said, well, maybe I'll just pop in and tie some flies from time to time, just because I don't know. For me, it's fun to do, and I watch Don from Ragged Edge Lure Works paint his lures all the time, and I enjoy that. So I was like, well, maybe somebody will just enjoy watching, hearing me shoot the breeze. Plus, I think when I watch you, Josh, the more time you spend in front of a camera, the more comfortable you get. Yeah. You have no idea how much of a perfectionist I am. It's almost a curse, I tell you. I'm going to wrap this up the whole body one time so that I have a more consistent base, and then I'll trim that off at the top. There we go. Now we gotta tie in some more yarn, but I don't know that I have enough here. That's my boss's son. He thought he heard me say hell no on a meeting today, so so now he's messing with me. That is funny. How was the fishing this weekend, Mega Manta? This is, there we go, come on. get this trimmed down. There we go. I heard it was tough. They were out on the Arkansas River fishing, and conditions were brutal. Because when it gets to be about late May and June here, you start to get the snow melt running off, and that's when it can get really difficult to fish because the conditions, it's hard to wade and everything else. Oh, my hook's slipping in my vise. But we're still in focus, that's all that matters. That one's a little bit thicker of a body, which I'm fine with. Almost looks more like a woolly bugger. I might tie that one off one more time, because it's kind of slipping. I don't know why. Maybe I need to do a few more. There we go. That seemed to cinch down better. Another one. All right, let's see what the first one looks like. First one. Second one's doesn't have quite the tail, but I'm sure it'll get the job done. Not bad. Cool. 2 more in the books. I tell you what, it can be tough to find the right hooks to meet the pattern you're tying, especially at an affordable price, because some of these hooks cost they like import them from Japan, and they can cost a fortune. So I did manage to find some through Cabela's, and so I've got an order in that is partially fulfilled, and I'm going to see if they should be able to get the rest of it pretty soon here, and then I'll be able to pick that up, and I'll start tying a bunch of these. I'll be giving these away to Mega Manta and his dad. I know his dad will use them. He's really excited to do more streamer fishing. And once you get the hang of it, which I'm still learning how to do it, it seems to be pretty effective. I think that's how they catch a lot of the bigger trout too. Big old streamers, so yeah. Alright. I'm trying to see. I'm debating whether or not to tie one more. I might save it because I got 2 hooks this size left, and 2 cone heads, maybe 3 hooks. This is true. I tell you what, the heavier the fly, the harder it is to fly cast, because it is the timing just changes when you have a heavier fly on. I don't think I have any other any other beads I could use for these, but I might check. Let me check really quick. Yeah, all the beads I have are a little bit too small for a fly like this. So so I think that means I'm gonna call it a night. Yeah, I gotta go too. So have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, and catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.